pupils, welcome to the online learning platform. I'm Comfort Samson and I hope you are enjoying your e-learning lessons. In Agric today, we'll be looking at the topic materials needed to grow crops. Materials needed to grow crops. But in our previous lessons, we learned about preservation and processing of food. We said that preservation of food is a way of keeping your food in order not to get spoiled, and processing of food is making your food ready to be eaten, or using raw material to make food products. Today we are going to be looking at what are the materials needed for growing our crops. Yes, there are various materials needed to grow our crops, which include good soil. Good soil. The first one is good soil. What's a good soil? A good soil is a soil which enables plants to grow when they plant seed in them. Not all soil are good for planting. The best soil for planting crops is the loamy soil. It's a very good soil for planting. Though we know there are other types of crop, but the best soil is loamy soil. Then also we have good seed. Good seed. You need to have a good seed for it to grow. If the seed is not good enough, when you plant, it will die, to not germinate, and might not produce good crops. Another thing for us to consider is sunlight. Sunlight is needed for plants to grow. When there is no sunlight, the plants might not grow effectively, and plants need light for photosynthesis to make their food. Also, we need sufficient water. When the soil is dried and you plant your seed, the seed will die, it will not germinate. So you need sufficient water for that plant to grow. We also need good stem, cutting. There are some plants we plant them using their stem. So such plants, the stem has to be good enough for you to plant them. Then we also need fertilizer or manure. Fertilizer or manure, we need them for growing our plants. Fertilizer supplies mineral nutrients to the plants. When the soil is not fertile enough, fertilizer will add to the mineral nutrients to the plant. Also, the soil, for growing plants, we also need adequate air and temperature for the plants to grow well. We need adequate air and temperature. These are the things we need when we plant our crops. Now, we also need insecticides. Insecticides for killing pests in our land and weeds. Weeds hinder crops from growing well. Weeds are unwanted plants in our farm. So when you have insecticide, you can use it on the farm to prevent the weeds from growing. Also, to kill pests. Pests destroy our plants, and I know you wouldn't like pests to invade in your farmland. You have to use insecticide to kill the pests on our farmland. We have different types of insecticides which we can use to kill our pests on our land. Example of insecticides use chemicals for rodenticides. We have rodenticides for rodents. We also have some we spray on the farmland to prevent the weeds from growing. Pupils at home, these are the things needed for plants, for you to grow your plants. Can we go over them again? We talked about good soil, talked about good seed, talked about sunlight, sufficient water, adequate air and temperature. You need insecticides, we need fertilizer and manure. All these are needed for crops to grow well. Pupils, you'll be opening to your Agric textbook on page 22, 21 and 22. You study it and answer the question on page 24. While the other textbook, you read page 25 to 28 and answer the question on page 30. That is what we have for you today. If you have any question on the platform, you can send your questions and we'll get back to you through the same medium. Children, do stay safe at home and have a nice day. Thank you.